Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of Hope TV Newswatch this Friday, the 16th of July, 2021. My name is Melissa Odwor. My sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. These are the news items we have prepared for you tonight. The United Democratic Alliance Party candidate had a narrow victory in the Kiambaa by-elections, with Njuguna Wanjiku of UDA winning against his rival Kariri Njama of Jubilee in the concluded by-elections. According to the declaration by the IEBC at Karuri High School, Njuguna gained 21,773 votes, while Kariri Njama followed closely with 21,263 votes. Although there were 8 aspirants, the contest narrowed down to a 2-horse race between Jubilee and UDA. And as Dolly Murigi tells us, the Jubilee candidate has since then announced that he will move to court to dispute the results to make sure that every vote is counted again. Njama said the Kiambaa by-elections were marred by irregularities.
Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee Party has suffered a major blow in the Kiambaa parliamentary by-election after losing to the United Democratic Alliance UDA, a party associated with the Deputy President William Ruto. UDA's candidate John Njuguna Wanjiku emerged victorious in the high-stake mini-poll after garnering 21,773 votes, followed by his closest competitor Kariri Njama of Jubilee Party, who managed 21,263 votes, with a narrow difference between the two being 510 votes.
I wish to declare Mr. John Njuguna Wanjiku the MP-elect for Kiambaa constituency.
Speaking after being announced as the MP-elect, Njuguna Wanjiku said it has been a tough journey, adding that he will endeavor to fulfill his promises pledged to the Kiambaa constituents.
Also, this opportunity to thank the Kiambaa people, for believing in me, in giving me their votes and entrusting them to me so that I can lead Kiambaa in the next 1 year. The other thing is also to thank the members of parliament, friends of mine who have been very supportive to this cause, and also take this opportunity and thank the Deputy President, because he also believed and he's also been a very supportive system for us as UDA party and as a Hustler Nation.
The Thursday by-election was not without its fair share of drama, with the IEBC suspending vote tallying at some point after the exercise was chaotic. This is after Jubilee candidate Kariri Njama and his supporters claimed the by-election was being rigged in favor of UDA candidate. At the same time, Njuguna was leading with 21,606 votes, while Njama Kariri had 21,151 after 153 poll stations out of 154 had been tallied. MPs associated with UDA were in celebratory mood, saying the writing was on the wall from the moment they fronted their candidate to the people.
And again, I want to echo what Wafula Chebukati said in Juja, and I say it here. We want to see an end to militarization of our electoral processes, so that elections come and go and we discuss about it the following day as if nothing happened. If God has destined that William Ruto will be the 5th president of this country, you can only ask how you are going to live under that presidency, not whether you are going to live under that presidency.
My brother here is now the MP-elect for Kiambaa, through God and the people of Kiambaa. I just want to say to those that think that they have all the power they imagine they do, that no power is mightier than the power of the people and the power of God.
It seems now back to the drawing board for the Jubilee Party after being humbled in its perceived background months after similar loss in Juja. UDA's Wanjiku is now inheriting the big shoe once occupied by the late Paul Koinange, who met his demise in March this year. Yet it seems time is not on his side as the country gears up for the next year's general election in August next year. Dolly Murigi for Hope TV Newswatch.
The announcement by the Electoral Commission IEBC that UDA candidate John Njuguna Wanjiku had won against Jubilee candidate Kariri Njama featured March celebrations from the Deputy President's camp. Now, making remarks on the just concluded by-elections while at a funeral in Mathioya, Muranga County, Deputy President William Ruto mentioned that the election was a friendly one, despite comments that it was not. According to him, both parties had accepted the results and it was time to move on. However, earlier in the day, chaos had erupted after Njama disputed the results and asked for the votes to be recounted. Ruto pointed out that the elections in Kiambaa constituency and Muguga ward were a testament that Kenya can conduct peaceful elections. He again took a hit at the Building Bridges Initiative Referendum Bill 2020, saying that the elections indicate that there is no need for the referendum to take place. Kandara Member of Parliament Alice Wahome shared the same sentiments as Ruto and commended the IEBC for conducting the elections peacefully. However, she added that votes should be counted quickly to ease the tension.
Hata kule Kiambaa na Muguga, watu wengi hasa vyombo vya habari hawaelewi ni nini inaendelea huko. Wanafikiria ya kwamba ni huyu versus the other one, ama ni kundi hii versus the other one. Ile inaendelea pale ni a friendly match kati ya chama yetu ya sasa ya Jubilee na chama yetu ya future ya UDA. So hakuna shida hapo, hiyo ni maneno tu ya kawaida. Na unajua watu wa Kiambaa tuliwafanyisha mtihani mgumu sana to choose between the present and the future. Na wakawa ni watu werevu, watu wa Kiambaa na Muguga. Wakasema, we have business with the present, tutapatia kiti ya Muguga. Na pia tuko na mpango ya future, wakapatia kiti ya UDA kutoka Kiambaa. So simunaona ni watu wamejipanga. Wamepanga maneno kabisa. Sasa ikawa kulikuwa watu wengine wanatafuta win-lose. Lakini watu wa Muguga na Kiambaa wakaamua win-win. Si namna hiyo. So mambo hiyo ni sawa. Sasa tuendelee. Na hata ile mzuri zaidi, walitumalizia ile kazi BBI ingefanya. Ilikuwa imesemekana BBI ndio isaidie sisi kusitokee fujo baada ya uchaguzi. Sasa watu wa Kiambaa na Muguga wametuonyesha ya kwamba inawezekana ifanyike uchaguzi, iishe, hakuna fujo na watu waende kazini.
Fugitive Police Corporal Caroline Kangogo was found dead on Friday morning. Confirming the incident, Rift Valley Regional Commissioner George Natembeya said Kangogo died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head at her parents' home in Anin, Elgeyo Marakwet. Detectives moved the late Kangogo's body to the Iten funeral home just hours after she reported to have shot herself inside her parents' home. According to Natembeya, Kangogo may have arrived at her parents' home last night. Kangogo is suspected to have shot dead Constable John Ogweno in Nakuru before allegedly killing Peter Ndwiga in Juja and later going into hiding. According to the residents, no one remembers hearing any gunshots until her body was discovered in the bathroom, seated with the pistol she allegedly used to execute two of her victims lying near her right hand. Chief Justice Martha Koome has chaired her inaugural meeting of the National Council on the Administration of Justice. The meeting was attended by all state actors, including Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i. The forum discussed the reintroduction of instant fees for traffic offenders, fast tracking of graft cases, prison decongestion, review of cases involving children, and establishment of more small claims courts. The Chief Justice stressed the need for collaboration by all stakeholders in the justice system. Koome also acknowledged the commitment made by the Nairobi Metropolitan Services Director General Mohammed Badi to construct more small claims courts within 3 months. On her first day of work as the chairperson of the National Council on Administration of Justice, Chief Justice Martha Koome stressed on the need for interdependence of all arms of government. She mentioned that all arms of government had a role to play in ensuring justice is delivered to Kenyans. Koome said that fostering the relationship between all arms of government should go a long way in strengthening the judiciary's capacity to deliver justice.
The executive to provide us with the budget that is needed for us to have the requisite infrastructure for us to be able to deliver service to Kenyans. So we must always come together like this. And I've always told Kenyans, when you see us come together to have a cup of tea or have breakfast together with the IG or with my brother, Mr. Kinoti, or the ODPP, or the AG, Mr. Kihara Kariuki, who was my colleague in the Court of Appeal, we are not discussing a case. And indeed, we cannot discuss a case.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i added that lack of support to the judiciary in the past had slowed down its progress and called on more support to be directed to the judiciary by all other state actors.
I frankly believe, and I think I like to be as honest as always, that there are many things that the judiciary ought to have done, or there are many things that we should have supported the judiciary to do up to this moment, but many of them have been affected because we didn't have a framework of collaborative and constructive engagement. Constructive cooperation and constructive engagement is not compromise. We equally serve one people in one country, and that's why I'm really gratified to hear what you have just said, Madam Chief Justice. There are no people, there are no Kenyans who belong to the judiciary, or Kenyans who belong to the executive branch, or Kenyans who belong to the legislative arm of government. We serve the same people.
On the matter of the dependence of the judiciary, Matiang'i applauded Koome for her call on engagement between the three arms of government, adding that partnership between the judiciary and executive does not mean the executive wants to infringe on the judiciary's independence. Notably, former Chief Justice David Maraga often publicly rubbed shoulders with the executive and will mention that the executive attempted to bar the independence of the judiciary. Attorney General Kihara Kariuki, speaking in the forum, challenged the council to follow through with its mandate, which is to ensure that justice is administered to Kenyans. He cautioned on cartel-like behavior that has seen delay of justice, including inadequate investigation. Just recently, self-confessed serial killer Philip Onyancha was released after Justice Jesse Lesit ruled that the prosecution had failed to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Onyancha committed murder and that investigation on the case was also wanting. Grace Angoi, Hope TV Newswatch.
At this point, to take a fast short break here on Hope TV Newswatch. We shall return with more news items lined up just for you. Don't go too far.
To all family heads and matriarchs around the world, Satan presents the Family Discipleship Conference coming this July, the 20th to the 24th. The conference will be a virtual meeting. We have dubbed the conference Resilient Through the Storm, and our guiding verse is Job 23 verse 10, when he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Our speakers, Bishop Callisto Odede, taking us through the conference theme, Ernest Wamboye taking us through a panel discussion on affair-proofing our marriages, Dr. Mamusha Fenta taking us through God's plan for the family, Elder Sam Makome, the laws of financial fitness, Dr. John Mpefuli, family finances and wealth creation, and Dr. Charity Waithema, who will be taking us through a panel discussion on mental wellness. We have guest artists, that is Michael Mahandere from Zimbabwe and our very own Rebecca Dawn. So please make sure you don't miss this opportunity to come forth as gold. All you have to do is register at the following link and you're set. Remember, the dates are 20th to the 24th of July. God bless you.
Hope TV is where you look and live. with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. Now on to the coronavirus updates today. The Ministry of Health has recorded that 692 people have tested positive for the disease from a sample size of 6,883 tested in the last 24 hours. The positivity rate now stands at 10.1%, with total confirmed positive cases at 191,712 and cumulative tests so far conducted at 2,043,355. Of the total cases, 668 are Kenyans and 24 are foreigners, the youngest being a 1-year-old while the oldest being 95 years old. The top 5 counties with the new infections are Kilifi, which has recorded the highest number of infections at 224, followed by Nairobi with 183, Mombasa with 52, Uasin Gishu with 36, Nakuru with 32 cases. 123 recoveries and 8 deaths have also been recorded, bringing the total number of recoveries to 180,543 and total number of deaths to 3,754. According to the World Health Organization, Africa has recorded a 43% week-on-week rise in COVID-19 deaths as hospital admissions increase rapidly and countries face shortages in oxygen and intensive care beds. Kisii Governor James Ongwae has moved to revamp some county projects 15 months before the general elections. Speaking in Kisii town, Ongwae announced a massive infrastructural upgrade across the county likely to cost millions of shillings. Now in Kisii town alone, the county capital, the administration is revamping a 2-kilometer tarmac stretch linking the town and Nyanchwa estate. The road is in its final stages, with the contractor putting final touches to it. During an inspection tour recently, Ongwae ordered the paving of the pedestrian lanes and lighting be done ahead of his official opening in the coming few weeks. According to Ongwae, apart from increased connectivity and reduced travel time, the project would trigger growth in the area and transform Nyanchwa estate into a mixed-use estate, saying the county government had set more money aside to aid at improving drainage in the county capital. Now, his deputy Joash Mangi urged leaders to work together for the common good of the residents.
Sisi wote ambao tuko hapa, tuko nyuma yako na we will not be shaken. We will work with you and it's our sincere hope that this will continue.
Nyanchwa ni pahali watu wengi wanaishi na ilikuwa ni shida kwenda huko. Leo naridhika kwamba barabara imetengenezwa vizuri. Naona kuna vitu ambavyo haijafanywa, kuna walkways haijatengenezwa ambao ile watu wanatembelea, hiyo nataka imalizwe. Kuna embankment hapo kwa bridge, ile vitu inawekwa kwa side watu wasianguke kwa bridge, hiyo lazima watengeneze. Kuna curbs kwa side of the road, lazima umalize, na hii walkway lazima itoke kutoka hapa paka Nyanchwa.
Let's take another short break here on Hope TV Newswatch. When we return, we shall explore the world of business.
We praise together, we praise Him.
Whether you are for me, I don't consider myself hard. I consider myself good for my purpose, to hug women. When they come crying and they come and hug me, they just come and I hug them and they cry and cry and cry until they are comfortable.
We praise together, we praise Him.
Job seekers recruitment platform Brighter Monday has celebrated its 15th anniversary since the company was established in 2006. The celebrations focused on the achievements and opportunities that they have made for many Kenyans and East Africans at large on the jobs and employment sector. Brighter Monday has so far uplifted over 40,000 businesses to hire the right personnel and helped thousands of job seekers secure jobs. Velma Meresa attended the celebrations and filed this report.
Established 15 years ago, Brighter Monday has grown to become East Africa's leading recruitment and human resource service platform to offer both employers and employees access to the right opportunities and qualifications. The Chief Executive Officer of Brighter Monday, Emmanuel Mutuma, on his part, told the media that the company has successfully matched both talent and opportunities and made seeking jobs and right qualified employees easier and better through the help of the ever-growing technology. The platform has also made it easier for job seekers to apply for the jobs, as they can do it from anywhere, provided they have the right gadgets, therefore making it easier and hassle-free, considering one doesn't have to deal with hard copies. He also added that finding jobs on the platform is flexible and does not require any form of payment, therefore anyone is free to access it.
So founded in 2006 with the sole goal of matching talents and opportunities in Kenya. And indeed it's been an amazing experience and a great journey in many ways. I think the first thing is the transition of technology. As you can imagine, 15 years ago, the power of the internet had not penetrated the market much as it has now. I believe smartphone penetration was about 15% of the population, but now we see 80% of people using smartphones and actually have access to the internet.
Mutuma said the SME sector alone provides employment for a bigger 80% of the population, and this indicates that the sector is a huge employer if a job seeker is finding it hard to be among the 20% employed by the government and large corporations. He also said growing businesses can now hire more effectively, recruiting the best and most skilled personnel.
So for us, the next 15 years means touching more people, maybe tripling the number of people that we match with job opportunities, and supporting thousands of micro, small, medium enterprises and small, medium enterprises, because they're really the basket of this country. to hire right and get the right people to make them great businesses.
And with the ever-growing job-seeking landscape, the Job Seekers platform has helped make the future of jobs in Kenya brighter by encouraging flexibility in working at home or at the office, especially at this time of the COVID-19 pandemic, hence minimizing large gatherings. Mutuma added the global talents are to be expanded through the Brighter Monday platform by hiring the best persons without having to worry about the locations that the employees are based. Velma Mweresa, Hope TV Newswatch.
Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala has today officially opened the Africa Tourism Recovery Summit in partnership with Saudi Arabia. The summit is looking into ways of rebuilding the African tourism sector that has been negatively impacted by COVID-19, as well as seeking opportunities to forge partnerships for stronger working relationships within the African countries and Saudi Arabia to mitigate the effects. Now, CS Balala was joined by the Minister of Tourism of Saudi Arabia, Ahmed Al-Khatib, and the Minister of Tourism of Jamaica, Edmund Bartlett, at the event. Bartlett has asked all stakeholders in both government and the private sector to develop public education camps.
So we need to upscale the human resources in the industry for the current and the future demand, because COVID has killed. Skilled, we need to go beyond COVID. The skills must be beyond COVID. Sustainability in tourism is preserving tourism core resources and ensure benefits to communities and resilience against crises such as the current pandemic. Issues of, again, wildlife conservation, community involvement, and also environmental matters. An African Tourism Forum that is required to coordinate the African tourism and establish a common strategy and a roadmap to meet our aspirations as a destination, Africa. This will enable focused engagement with key players such as IATA and others so that we can be able to improve tourism on the continent. Train the youth for tourism of the future. This will enable us to leverage on the demographic dividend in Africa as a resource and a future market and stability. Government to prioritize tourism and provide adequate funding to enable the sector to optimize its potential for economic growth and development as well as job creation. Africa to invest in infrastructure to connect country to country to increase opportunity for Africans to travel across the continent and enhance visitor experience. We must walk the talk this time. This is the second conference in the last 2 years held in Nairobi on the same agenda about how do we transform Africa, Africans' tourism, so we can benefit from this sector.
Kenya Power has announced that it will henceforth engage the National Youth Service NYS to collect customers' electricity meter data in a digitization exercise that the power supplier has embarked on. Making the announcement, Kenya Power Managing Director and CEO Engineer Bernard Ngugi said over 700 NYS officers will be used in the exercise that seeks to identify overloaded, underutilized and imbalanced electricity transformers so that the company can take any corrective actions needed. The exercise is expected to kick off on Monday, the 17th of July, 2021. Now, the countrywide exercise, which has been funded by the World Bank Kenya under the Kenya Electricity Management Program KEMP at a cost of 225 million shillings, will be covered by 700 NYS servicemen and women and 70 supervisors.
2, 3. Beginning next Monday, 19 July 2021, 770 NYS men and women will visit every customer premises and collect customer meter data and the meter box coordinates. The digitization exercise will also enable us to identify overloaded, underutilized, and imbalanced transformers to enable us to take corrective action.
To regional news now, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has said the violence and looting witnessed in the country a few days ago was pre-planned. Speaking to the press during a visit of KwaZulu-Natal, Ramaphosa has said that his government is going after the looters who will pay for the crimes committed. He said that locals have volunteered to clean up the towns, a clear manifestation that the looters have not succeeded in destroying the country. Ramaphosa's tour to assess the extent of the damage comes as the number of those who have died from the riots has reached 112. Police have arrested more than 2,000 people suspected of having had a hand in the looting. The riots broke out last week after the Constitutional Court jailed the former President Jacob Zuma for contempt of court.
It's quite clear that all these incidents of unrest and looting were instigated. There are instigators, there were people who planned it, they coordinated it, and we are after those people. We are going after them. We have identified a good number of them, and we will not allow anarchy and mayhem to just unfold in our country.
Further afield, the United States has expressed sympathies with Germany over the loss of lives and destruction to property after flooding hit Western Europe. The sweeping waters have claimed the lives of 120 people across Belgium, Netherlands, Switzerland, and Germany, with reports of more people missing. At a press conference he shared with German Chancellor in the White House, President Joe Biden termed the flooding tragic and expressed condolences to the people of Germany. On her part, Angela Merkel noted that although there was suffering among people affected by the floods, her government would help them lessen the challenge.
I want to express to you and to the people of Germany my sincere condolences and the condolences of the American people for the devastating loss of life and the destruction due to the flooding over the past 24 hours in Germany and neighboring countries. It's a tragedy, and our hearts go out to the families who've lost loved ones.
The sporting scenes now. The Council of East and Central Africa Football Association CECAFA Under-23 Challenge Cup tournament is set to kick off tomorrow at Bahir Dar town in Ethiopia. The tournament was originally meant to start on the 3rd of this month, but the CECAFA members requested that kickoff be moved to this weekend. The tournament has drawn interest from 9 teams, which include Uganda, Eritrea, Burundi, Ethiopia, Djibouti, South Sudan, Kenya, Tanzania, and guest side DR Congo. This is after teams from Somalia, Sudan, and Rwanda failed to take part, while the Zanzibar Football Federation had not communicated their final position by the 12th of July. Kenya's emerging stars, who left the country on Wednesday this week, begin their Group C campaign against Djibouti on Sunday before facing South Sudan. And Kenyan international SA Akida has spent a 1.5-year deal today to Greek champions PAOK Thessaloniki women on a free transfer. Akida joins the Greek giants from Football Kenya Federation FKF Women Premier League champions Thika Queens following an outstanding season. The move comes barely a week after former AFC Leopards midfielder Collins Shichenje completed a move to PAOK Thessaloniki men's side, as he signed a 6-month deal with Thika Queens back in March after parting ways with Turkish giants Besiktas, and also featured in a number of Champions League games for the side. That story brings us to the end of Newswatch tonight. You can always join Joseph Maingi on Saturday at 2 p.m. on Hope FM, where the discussions of all the sporting events take place in real time. I have been your news anchor, Melissa Odor. My sign language interpreter has been Boniface Moredi. Have a wonderful weekend and God bless.